Back, everybody. Here we are at the Yellow House with
me.
Yeah, him.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and these two.
Yeah. And Kid Madd and the Peanut. And let's take a look at this. What do you think, guys?
Isn't that his name?
That is a good painting.
Yep. Anna, or Martha, can you do this pose again? Look up like that.
No, you gotta look up, but
Yeah.
I think that was a random moment that she's gonna have a difficult time recreating.
Yeah.
It's a perfect moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
But it also, if anyone who knows Kid Madd, is an iconic painting. That's an iconic pose.
Good right here, though.
Yeah, I actually like the way that turned out. I'm usually terrible with noses, but you have such a cute little nose.
And it's beepable. And it's made of cookies.
And look,
This one's got a
over
meatball
here,
nose.
yours.
Yes, that's mine.
Oh, sorry. No,
So,
I accidentally did
as it is, we're about to begin this second segment of Madd the Impaler, or Vlad Von Madd.
Just give me a minute or two to set up.
Yeah, he's setting himself
I
up.
still think I forgot something.
Hey, hon.
There's just one, too.
I found just those two colors right there, to me, makes a decent flesh tone.
Okay, so what colors did you use? Brown and white?
Yeah, it was burnt sienna and white. If I need a blush tone, you can add a red to it. But I found that these two right here just generally make a pretty decent flesh tone. Just a matter of getting it lightened up enough to the light tones. And
Just trying to get into the proper pose for you.
No, still not there. Let's try something.
I want to see how he paints.
I'm at least going to start with this. I can always go back and play with things. But I found it on a dark canvas, you need a darker color anyway, because rather a lighter color, because lights are going to show up a lot better against that dark color. Grab me a rag. I could have used a towel. I've just discovered the wonder of these shop towels for painting. Okay.
You remember that episode of MASH?
Which one?
Where he was painting Winchester and he kept running out of burnt sienna? Because Winchester kept getting angry and his face kept getting red.
Yeah, that'll work.
Oh, don't lay it
in the paint. Again, shop towels. Wonderful invention.
She is extremely enthusiastic about helping. Say hi, Kid Madd.
Hi.
And the Peanut's here. And Myra.
We got the whole Madd family. I don't know how anybody else does this stuff. I just lay down some color and go. There may be a proper way, but nobody's ever told me.
I thought on a forehead. I thought on a forehead.
I've been spending the morning actually watching old Bill Alexander videos. And there's really not, other than the painting styles being similar, there's just no comparison between him and Bob Ross. It's like two ends of the spectrum. You've got, if anybody's ever watched the shows, I'm pretty sure you've watched both of them at one time or another. How did I miss that spot? Looks like a Phantom of the Opera mask. Basically, I'm just going for shapes right now just to see where I'm going with this stuff. And then I kind of fine-tune details on my own sweet time. You know what? I missed a color. And that ain't it. Alright, I've hit a color.
What you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for my Payne's Gray, which I just realized I will more than likely need. Sorry for the back, but you gotta do what you gotta. Oh, here it is. I just realized I might just need this. I don't know, there's probably a better way to organize your palette, but I just gotta do what I do. It works for me. At some point I found I actually made my own brush cleaning toy. This is one I picked up cheap on Amazon, eBay, one of the big sellers. I don't really remember. It was a Chinese import, $5, free shipping. I mean, can you beat the price? I mean, your hair is a really dark brown, but right now I'm just going to lay in the Payne's Gray because why not? We'll find out what happens as I go along. You can't really tell the colors. Since the last time I have painted in the shirt in a dark green and the cloak is in a dark brown. We'll work on those as we go along, trying to bring out some more of the a little more detail in it, so maybe you can actually see it. You can still see some pencil lines.
Sorry, it's hard not to smile when there's a kid over here kissing your thumb.
I could understand that. Or a cat on guard duty even. It's the first toy maker to the king.
You ever notice how much the king in that movie looks like me?
That's why it's the first toy maker to the king. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Oh, that is looking good, isn't it?
That's what we've got. We've got the first.
It is.
One of these days I might actually try to tell y'all, teach something, but right now I'm just having too much fun putting the stuff on there. This is the way I learned. I put paint on a canvas and figured it out. Well, at least we got a face blocked in, and now we can actually see where we're going with this.
Kind of look like an evil Lemmy-Co mister.
Well, I thought that was the look we were going for.
Yeah. Careful, Kid Mad. They're trying to help him out. They're trying to help him by sweeping leaves off his porch here.
Thank God. Now I tell you, if you wanted to sweep some leaves somewhere, I'll tell you exactly where you could sweep some leaves. If you could sweep a path from the porch down to the van door, that would just be ideal. To get me out of the dust.
Well, go around and do that. Peanut, are you going to help Kid Mad?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still keep offering to go in and get the leaf blower and just let them blow everything off. I don't need this right now.
The Peanut would aim it down and shoot herself into orbit. Well, Mike's doing all right, I think.
Alright, I'm going to come back and work on this in a minute. Right now, I'm going to... Well, that is black, isn't it? Okay, well, you know what? I'll go back and take this brush again. I'm going to... I'm gonna lay in it. I know the hat's black, but I'm gonna lay it in gray. Payne's gray, I guess y'all have noticed, is extremely dark. You can't really tell it's gray until it gets mixed with black, with white. I guess if I put paint on, you can tell the difference between someone who has to buy their own paint and people that have it provided or have companies that make it, because I am a little more stingy with how much paint I put on the canvas and the brush. Because I have to work for a living and buy my paint.
In other words, he's not sponsored by any paint company, but he could be.
I could be.
Call him.
I could be. I'm actually rather partial to a brand of paint put out by a company named after an earless artist. I'm not going to mention any names, but I just went and seen a nice, fully hand-painted movie about this artist, and it was actually, if it doesn't get some kind of an Oscar, there's really no justice in the world. Not that I would watch them anyway, but that's a political comment, and I'm going to try to avoid making political comments.
Need a party, Mommy. Need a party, Mommy.
During the break, I laid in some lighter gray highlights on the hat.
Which is known as an astrakhan.
Thank you. And really, that's about all I've done other than sit here and shoot the bull. Now I'm just gonna go in and see if I can bring out some color in this thing here. It definitely needs to be. I think it needs to be where you can tell there's actually something there besides.
So not a strange disembodied floating head.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, in case you identify as a strange disembodied head.
You never can tell nowadays, no. I said I was going to be nice and not try to get political all over this thing. But sometimes some things are just so stupid you've got to call them out on it. Okay, I'm identifying as a not so starving artist. As anybody who noticed my expanding waistline can tell, I am not starving by any stretch, but. And for those of you on Facebook, I have started a page where we are showcasing this art. It's Artistic Impressions by Michael. We'd appreciate very much if you'd go there, give us a like, share the page, give us your comments, constructive criticisms. I don't want to just hear that sucks and no way to make it better. I don't mind honest criticism, but if you're going to criticize, give me a way to make it better. That's the idea of criticism. You tell people how to make things better.
That is sharp.
I don't want to use that dirty brush on that. Unfortunately, again, this is the hazard of not having, and there it goes. Hey, Peanut. Oh, never mind. I guess I'll go get it myself.
Peanut.
Kid Mad.
Yeah?
There's a shop tower that just flew down here.
Okay. I'm coming. Wow.
Right at your feet.
The blue thing. Yeah. Yes, I need that. I let it get away from me.
Thank you kindly.
I will put that in my trash bag so it doesn't blow away.
The Madlings are good kids.
Yep, they are raking my yard now. Yep. Thank God, because nobody could.
Praying that they don't take out a window in the process.
I've had windows taken out before. You know what? That green there is just not showing up very well. Well, it shows up a little bit better. But.
I'm just concerned that they're going to take out a van window with a broom or a rake.
Well, they shouldn't be raking towards the van anyway.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it defeats the purpose of getting the stuff away from the van. Yeah, I guess that's a little bit brighter. Yeah. I don't want it overly bright, but I want it bright enough that it can be seen. Yeah. But I think we're better than we were before. You could barely tell it was even there, especially in the house where it was a little darker. I couldn't tell if it was there or not.
Those are reminiscent of the gold buttons that you actually see on the court painting in Romania.
Exactly. And once I finish detailing them, we're going to try to get as close to that point as we can. That's actually that is the look I'm sort of shooting for here with this. So
It's kind of got, right now this portrait has this sort of Vlad the Impaler meets Ivan the Terrible look. I love it.
and he identifies as both of them. So you know, I mean, I need my trash bag. Now, oh, how did that get smeared way down there? I don't even remember being. Oh, no, I don't remember. That's better. That was bugging me. That was off center. What kind of a well-dressed monarch would have his collar off center? There. Well, now you can see it a little better. Now we'll go back to the main subject. I figured the models need a bit of a break once in a while. Normally I work from photographs. The portrait of Kid Madd you saw earlier, I sort of stole from the Good Doctor's Facebook page because I saw it and decided, boy, I've got to paint that. That's a great picture.
Well, that's an iconic image of Kid Madd.
I need my palette. I like my Bob Ross palette knife, but not for mixing paint. I've been mixing paint with this one for years. I'm going to do the whites of the eyes. And if you're doing the whites of the eyes, just for future reference, they're not actually white. So I'm going to tone it down with something here. I mean, I keep it mostly white. And there's a big difference between all white and mostly white. But I'm not going to get into Princess Bride references here today. But if you've seen the movie, you kind of get where I come from. Now there was the color I was looking for earlier. Well, now I've got it, so. Now I finally got that light tone I was looking for. But I think the tone I've got actually works pretty well, and I can bring out highlights in that now. And quick wipe on the brush, and we're going to find a smaller brush. Yes?
Mike,
Yes?
how do you like it so far?
Yay!
What's Peanut doing with the rake?
She's just raking upon all the leaves along this side.
Okay. She's nowhere near the van.
I'm trying to get as much leaves as possible so you can get through.
Thank you.
They are very helpful.
Yes, I remember when we were doing the painting up at Nathan Bedford Forest State Park.
They were helping
they
the
were
staff.
helping the staff, yes.
Landscape.
I know there's you see a lot of white around the eyes right now. That's actually just China marker and not actually paint. Now we're actually going to lay some paint down. And what we're going to go for is if you haven't seen the horror movie where the painting and the eyes follow you around the room, you haven't watched any horror movies whatsoever in your entire lifetime. So that's what we're actually going to go for here with this one. As soon as I clean a brush. Unfortunately, I do not have multiple brushes. I have a couple of multiple brushes. It's not enough to make any.
Is there any difference in the skin color around here under here?
Yeah, it's a little darker, which I'll lay in the shadow tones later. I'm just trying to get.
Yeah.
I'm just shooting for.
Well,
base.
I knew that. I just didn't know. You're an artist. You can see this.
Yeah,
stuff.
I see the stuff is there. I just haven't done it.
Yeah, I knew that.
There are some people that meticulously lay down the light tones, then the mid tones, and then the dark tones, and maybe that's the way to do it. Me, I lay down a base tone and then I work with it.
Well, that's the
there.
thing about artistic stuff is the fact that it's subjective to what the artist wants to do and how they do it.
I mean, I've never said I'm going for a super realistic. What was the big was a big portrait artist. His work was the talk of Europe and America. John Singer Sargent. Now he had some really realistic, I mean almost to the point I guess of being photorealistic artwork. I'm laying down another dark brown, a burnt umber, and I'm going to start working on the eyes, which are actually a much lighter tone than that, but I have a method to my madness, maybe.
I'm raising them out, you're taking them over there.
There is a method to this madness, and I promise you will see the method here in a moment. I'm going to dip into a little of this yellow ochre now, and with any luck it's going to mix with my brown somewhat and lighten them up just enough to provide some highlight. A little too much in this one, but that's better. Now, the trick to getting eyes to follow you around the room, I learned this a long time ago, is very simple. You put the pupils, if I can find my Payne's Gray, I always use Payne's Gray for pupils. I don't know why, I just do. I like it. It
For
works.
the same reason I use vanilla in any dessert that I make.
Well, it's good. I mean,
yeah,
that and a little salt. But this is not a cooking video, so
yeah. Well, I'm just saying
we can
use
do
it for
that.
the same reason. We've done a couple of dinner with the Madds episodes.
We could definitely do a cooking video or two here. We do enjoy our food here.
Yes, we do.
Now I went from 230 to 175, and I'm back up to 200. So you can tell I do enjoy my eating. The secret is to put the pupils in the center, looking at you. That is the whole trick to getting the picture to follow you around the room, is to keep those pupils right in the center of the eyes, looking out at the artist. And now let's see if we can bring those out a little bit, because they're not, you can barely tell they're there. We're going to try to get that, we're going to try to remedy that with a little more of this yellow ochre. We're going to try to remedy that. Dab a little on around that. And you can see them a little better now. Yes, being looked at over here. I think we've got it. Being looked at here. Being looked at way back here, standing next to his wife, so we've got it. By the time I get done, hopefully the eyes will stand out a little better. Yes, I mean, let's see. Oh yeah, nice big pile of leaves to jump in now. Good, that's a good jumping in pile. All right, we'll try to do something. Paint. As soon as I figure out what brush I'm going to use. Now, I've got a bunch of new brushes I've never even touched in here. And I think I'm going to go with this one. Don't know why. We're going to try to lay in a little bit of detail now. Oh, that sucker is stiff. Did I even clean that? One thing you want to always do, you get new brushes, make sure wash them with hot soapy water to get them where you can use them. Now if I was going to play, let's see, I don't know, could you take a step back over that way and look over at that tree again? Yeah, that's better. Now I see what I'm looking for. Hey, you know what? I know what this thing's missing now. It's missing eyebrows. That's really not all that much darker, but it'll do for now. I can fix that. I know I said I don't use this for mixing colors. I lied. I do sometimes. Now is the time. It's handy and I don't have to keep walking back off camera. And that looks a little darker there. Let's see if that works a little better. If it doesn't, I'll go back and pick some more color up. Trying to get some of the more dark tones underneath the eyes in, but it's starting to come in now. Yeah, that's what's me. I got a couple of things that are actually missing on this, but those are things I do last. So.
How about you sleep over here trying to make Google pathway?
Yeah, definitely need a shadow tone right there. Otherwise, things are just so. I'm just gonna straight mix. You know what? That's what I should have done in the first place. Live and learn. You got to anchor this cap. Now it looks like it's at least anchored to his head and not just floating. I may add some more highlights to that because it's really still hard to tell where it ends and the background begins. And I actually like that color. Go back. And with it mixing in with the color already laid down, it tones down enough that it's not I could probably lighten that up a little bit, but now it still doesn't look like much, but switch. Lay down some thicker. Did you find one of my cans laying around out there?
No, she seems to have found.
Oh, my little spray bottle.
And this piece.
Oh, that's part of one of them ting 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 things. One of those
Chimes.
Yeah, wind chime. Yeah, it broke, and I didn't feel like messing with it to try to fix it. So.
And then one of the cat spray bottles.
That's my spray bottle. That's actually got vinegar and water in it for window cleaning.
Can I clean the windows?
You know, you keep on, I'm going to have you in the house. You can clean the whole house, and that'll take you till you graduate.
What? I like to clean.
Thank God.
I'll remember that when we get home.
Why?
Oh.
Can I clean the windows though?
Well, I don't need the windows cleaning. I can see out of them, or people can see in them. Thank you, though. The yard is more than enough. All right, I got to try to work on this nose. I hate working on noses. Noses are like my...
And we have to take a short break.
Everybody needs to know what I was doing while we were on break. Nothing disgusting or anything. Just
nothing to see here. Move along. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, that too. Only thing I've done during this brief break, I've added a little bit of brown to the hair, and I've went back through around the mustache and the chops here, adding some brown to it to cover up some of the gray. But there's still some there that's noticeable. Anybody that's watching this video, and I can't say too much. If I had any hair, it would all be gray. That's why I'm wearing a hat. But God only made so many perfect heads, and the rest he covered with hair. So,
Boy, what's he saying about my head? I got long hair.
well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Just kidding, Mike.
There was a time I used to think it was weird. Now I've sort of got used to that. I've gotten used to a lot of things that I didn't think I would get used to. But again, I'm not going to go into things I've gotten used to that I thought I would never get used to. And there's some things, I'm sorry, I don't care what we do, I'm not getting used to them. I refuse to get used to certain things. Because certain things don't need to be gotten used to. They need to be done something about. Alright, here comes the bane of my existence when it comes to painting. We're going to try to get this nose in here now.
Maybe a really long isosceles triangle for the shading.
It's a start. I need a smaller brush. I wish I had a good German accent. I would do Bill Alexander now.
You'll need a smaller brush.
I need longer fingernails.
You need the longer fingernails.
Now is when I can use help of one of the munchkins in an effort to pick this bloody thing up. All right. What color am I going to go with? I know what I'm going to do.
Tell me about your
I'm about to make something up as I go along. I'm going to throw a little red out here. Again, this is a vermilion red, and I'm going to add it to something. I just don't know what yet. I think I'm going to go with this little bit of a darker color I've got. I'm going to put just a touch of that in it.
Just tell me when you need me to pose against it.
Okay, you can. Yeah, you can stand at ease for the moment. And I think it needs just a little bit more of this. I need a little more than that. There we go. Make it a little bit warmer. Now that's a good shadow tone there. I kind of like that.
You ever thought about keeping a notepad when you get a shading that you like and kind of writing on the recipe for it?
The main thing would be recreating the actual the proportions. So I actually wing every time I paint. I've spent more time just mixing colors than I have actually painting. I need to thin that paint down some for what I'm about to do. So I'll be constantly dipping back and forth into the thinner over there to thin this paint down. Anytime I'm using a liner brush, I like my paint really, really, really thin. And I'm getting it pretty darn thin now. I think I'm about where I want to be with this. And we're going to try to lay down at least a rough shape on that nose. Spinning the brush. Pulling off a big hunk of paint. Alright, now let me back up over here and get a
Yeah.
Something.
Big nose.
I think I'm gonna actually end up needing more mustache than what I've got before I'm done. But here we go. Here's your bravery test, to quote Bob. Thank you. Waiting on the model.
Buffering.
Buffering, yeah. I like that even better. We're going to buffer a lot here for the next few minutes, folks. I can see this. Understandably so, because I will be the first to admit I am not the king of noses.
I knew him.
King of noses, and his name, sir?
He passed away.
Initials GC.
Yeah.
You know, I saw his twin. He could have passed for his twin brother yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was at a local business establishment, and yes, I'm making this nose way outsized now. Because I've got the nose in the center of the face.
Actually, the size looks about right.
The nose needs to be pointing that way, and the nose is pointing straight at me. So I got your eyes and nose looking at me, but your mouth is looking, and eyes are looking The eyes and mouth are that way, and the nose is this way.
So it's a Picasso.
The nose and I'm working on something in an abstract.
Right. Well, which way do you need me to face?
Right about there. Yeah. Let me stand back here and look. Okay, if I come down from right about here. Now we're really getting we really got that Picasso thing going on now. Yeah, okay, now I think this is really god awful at the moment. It actually all eventually ends up working out somehow. I actually eventually managed to get these things where I want them. I may have to cover it up and paint it 4 or 5 times. It wouldn't be the first or last time I've done it. I know what'll help if I do that. That might help me some. Yeah, I know, I've really got a god-awful mess here. I want the center right there. Yeah, eventually we'll actually lay in some colors and make this look like a... You know what, maybe if I just switch to a dry brush and start erasing and sculpting and erasing some more, we'll come up with something that looks like a nose. Noses. People should not have noses. It would make painting pictures very, 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 very much simpler. At least for me. If I get disgusted with it, I'm going to move on to something else and work with that for a while. Let me try this. Let me try doing it this way. Yeah, that might work. We might be just about in the ballpark there. I need a brush I don't have. I don't know which brush, but I need one. Try this one. You go away. There. If I can get it just basically where I want it, which I think that's not overly bad. It's not overly great, but it's not overly bad.
Well, that looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah, we could
a little more shading, and you've got it, I'd say.
Yeah, I think we can fine tune the details on the nose. I mean, that's just a.
I mean, the shape looks like it's in there.
That's the key. If you can get things basically right, I think you at least get something that somebody recognizes as. And I think that's the thing with a painting. You want people to at least recognize the subject. I don't think it has to look exactly like them.
The Egyptians painted them. The Egyptians always got rid of anybody's faults when they painted them.
And here's my obligatory Van Gogh reference. I mean, his self-portraits and portraits, I mean, obviously were not exact duplicates of the people he painted, but you would be able to recognize them if you passed them on the street. You would say, "Hey, didn't he?" Are we gonna go with that? Are we gonna go with a squint on this, or are we gonna keep the eyes wide shut? Open. There's my Stanley Kubrick movie reference.
I think the original had his eyes really kind of, you know.
Okay, so we'll go with the crazy eyes then. Got it. Crazy eyes it is.
In other words, normal for me.
Point. Score. Did I hear cheering? We have a bigger audience than I thought. Spend money, commission paintings. Artists for sale. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get the obligatory Bram Stoker's Dracula riff in there.
Good movie.
Yep.
Not
Have you
with
seen Victor Frankenstein yet?
Haven't seen that. That's the one with young Mr. Potter in it, isn't it?
Yes, playing opposite mad scientist Mr. Tumnus.
Where's my other toy yet?
James McAvoy, who played Mr. Tumnus in The Lion, the Witch, and the
James
Wardrobe.
McAvoy. What else was he? Was in something else I've seen. Oh, didn't he play Professor X in one of the X-Men movies? Yeah. Days
but
of
he also
Future
played
Past
played Victor Frankenstein and Mr. Tumnus, which sounds like a really strange B movie. He drinks this potion and suddenly turns into a fawn.
Now, thank God for these little things. They're collapsible.
Get back in the pose here.
And they're... Oops. At least we've got a recognizable face now anyway, you know, as long as I've got this out. Yeah, a little bit of that dark right there. And let me step back and maybe just a wee bit right here. And buffering, I don't know.
I'm just checking on the kids.
Now it's still missing something. What do you think?
Good.
That's garbage. That I'm keeping. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm keeping it.
We're using it for the leaves right now.
Okay, we'll take it down there.
Okay. I know what we need.
It's coming to life.
The mouth looks basically like a alien at this point in time. Yes, there are going to be alien references in this.
Ouch.
No E.T. references. Only science fiction movie I probably never seen and never will see.
I actually saw it in the theater.
I've never been to see it. Don't want to see it.
You know they were represented in the Galactic Council.
Yes, I know, which makes E.T. a Jedi. I've seen the meme, yes. Yes, I read more than my share of Facebook memes, Lord knows.
Actually, I personally think that he was the one. I think that it was his species that actually trained Darth Sidious.
I like it. I'll go with that theory. All right, I was doing something. Yes, I've gotten sidetracked cleaning this palette. You know, I actually had another one I could have used to do that. This is one of the few things I have. I have a bunch of palette knives, some of which have never seen the light of day yet, because I don't know what I would do with them. And that's a great, okay, now it's starting to tone down. So I say there at the beginning it was a good color for us. Never mind, I probably can't say that. It's probably not right anymore. That looks like it might be a pretty good tone. Yeah. We'll try it and see. If I don't like it, I can change it. Ha! My privilege. Let's see what this looks like. It may need a little more red in it before I'm done, but we'll see. Yeah, it's going to need more red in it before I'm done. Alright, well, in that case, we'll just dip into that and we'll see if we can darken it up a little bit. I think they have returned. Wasn't somebody around? Oh, never mind, that's the wrong one. Now we're getting into streetwalker tone here. I don't know, that's not too bad. You got, oh, yeah, that might work. Oh, you got a drop of blood there at the corner of the mouth, but not too bad. I think I can Do just a little bit of damage to that. Let's see what we've got. We'll dip into, boy, I have used up the white here. One color, always buy white in big tubes if you're going to paint.
It's kind of like when you're painting the sculptures the way I do it. You're always using a lot of black because you're base coating everything. It's interesting how the two different arts have two entirely different methodologies behind them.
Okay, that should be done. Okay, now get off.
Well, I see some areas that need work here. Let's see. Yep. Need a bigger brush. Good. Brush without painting. Alright, what am I doing? Don't know yet, but I'm about to go there, and I don't know where it is, but I'm about to go there. Around here is probably cat.
It's probably cat poop. Leave it alone.
Well, it could be a dog. I think we got a dog that tends to. Oh, fudge. I just shaved about half your mustache. Yep, I have shaved the heck out of it. That's alright, we can put it back in.
We did all of your work for you.
Okay, thank you. I'll see to it. I'll sign my check over to you when I get paid in 2 weeks. Alright, so
I'll just go finish my work.
Okay.
I gotta put the mustache back that I have shaved off. I sort of shaved off most of the mustache just then. Now I've got to put it back.
Oh, actually, it looks better now.
As long as I've got this color on here. Yes, I use some people would call this mixing mud. You know what? I use it. Somebody was saying I left some gray out of the hair. I won't make any comments as to who said that, but we'll see if we can get some of it in there. I don't have to worry about gray when I paint my pictures because there's just nothing there to paint.
Okay, break.
Because the model was tired and I needed a drink, and I had to supervise my labor force, and I have got to fix there. That took care of the blood dripping down the side of the mouth, which, although it would be probably pretty accurate for Vlad the Impaler, freedom fighter or enemy, depends on your point of view.
Definitely if you have 2 or 3 loads of phlegm to pronounce your name.
And why am I dipping into this? Why are we wearing glasses now? I'm missing my... Don't. I have enough trouble as it is. I'm gonna.
Sorry, force of habit.
I know. Add a little bit of. I'm basically right now. I'm trying to fine tune this as much as I can because we're trying to wrap this so we can get this out. Whoa! I don't want to erase what I've worked on. Shadow that subtly there. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I know what I need. I know what it needs. I know what it needs. Of course. The nose needs a big highlight right down the middle of it. Now I'm going to lighten. This is a little bit dark, or a little bit too light. So I'm going to pick up some of this color here, and we are going to go now then. That's what that thing needed. Needed a highlight on the nose. I know it looks too bright. That's why with a clean, dry brush, and there goes a brush in the leaves. We'll take a clean brush And we will make that a little more subtle. Better.
Oh, that's sharp.
Much better. Now then, I'll do the same thing over here on this shadow. Probably on that one too. I don't know, huh? Maybe I should have left that like I had it. Probably should have. Where is my favorite little script liner at?
You got a small insect crawling down my chin there.
No, I like to put a little life in my paintings. So, it's a still life.
Well, he don't look too still.
He will be by the time he dies on it. It will be a literal still life. Okay, now, there's something I've got to get done here, and I got to figure out what it is, because the chin is really bothering me. I think I see what it is. Yep. I see what it is. Mm-hmm. I think that's what's bothering me. I just got to get these on here.
Kid Mad was ready to kill me the other day when I shaved my chin off again. Not everybody can wear mutton chops.
Yeah, I think I've commented. You're the only person I know that could probably pull that look off today. Okay, let's see. What do I need to do to it? What needs to be done? I think I need a little more shadow. Do I need shadow? Do I need a little bit of shadow? Something moderately dark. I think this and that. This and that and this. Let's see. I'm actually getting fairly satisfied with what we've got. I've said I don't go into hyper realistic, but as long as people can recognize what it is, I think. There.
I was going to say, is it an insect or a beauty mark?
No livestock anymore. Okay. Now what I'm going to have to do is go around and highlight around the eyes, which is a painstakingly annoying job that I hate, but we will figure out what color we're going to use to do that. I'll probably go back in with this.
Let me close my eyes so you can see the eyelids or what all.
No. I'm just going to, I just need to, okay. I'm going to go back. Anytime you're painting, I've said I need to bring this out. Take a step back and look at it, because it looks completely different once you take a step or two back than it does when you're right up on top of it. Trust me. Okay, we got to get the eyes shaped now. Now, got a little definition there. We have went back through and highlighted around the eyes a little bit to bring them out. Now I'm just going to try to soften that a little. Believe it or not, I just learned this.
Kid Mad, where's your sister?
She's still Peanut Mad is still cleaning.
Okay.
We are actually, folks, at this point, pretty close to a finished product. I'm about to start futzing with things, and I found that when I start futzing with things, it's time to pretty much call it done. I'm going to add just a few, oops, I need this darker color here. I'm going to add add a little bit of shadow to it. I think that's what it's been missing, is it just needs some shadow, particularly on this side of the face. Add a little shadow to it. And looks like we could use some highlights on the other side of the face, and I'm just going to dip right into this white.
Sorry, I'm not more of a still model.
No, that's all right. I usually work with photos, so this is completely different for me. I'm going to add some highlight on this side.
And now you can say you've done a portrait from life.
How did I end up with that big smudge right there?
What big smudge? I can't
The one
see
I'm
a
a,
big...
The one's right there on his cheek.
The one I probably did that when I was blending just now, but we can blend that back out.
Oh, that looks good.
At this point,
He's done wonders. Actually, look handsome there.
We're actually almost done. The only things left to do is maybe go back through and do a little more detailing on the cloak, the shirt, the hat. And I have something I've been discussing about putting in this background over here, because I think there's just the attack of the cola bottle. I thought there was just awful lot of space on this side. But then again, if you follow your thirds, if you follow your rule of thirds, you'll notice that I think the face actually falls pretty well within your thirds. So if you divide the canvas in thirds, here and here, that third looks like it's right about the middle of the nose. And then if we divide it in thirds here and here, it looks like we actually have it in a pretty good point where it's drawing in, and you got the lines here and here drawing you into the face.
Oh, yes.
So we could actually call this pretty much done and sign it, but I do want to do a little detail work, which I'll do offline, and we'll definitely post finished results on the Madd's page and on my Facebook page. Again, that's Artistic
And on the
Impressions
YouTube
by
channel.
Michael. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I meant on y'all's YouTube channel. Yeah.
And it will go over on the Melvin Madd Facebook page.
And it'll also go on my personal Facebook page. And
Go check that out too, guys.
and that's about it, actually.
One last thing.
Oh, yeah, that did.
Video, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell, share it, comment, thank you, and check us out. And hey, if you want to commission something, I'm up for bread. You know, I mean, I can always use money. So for Kid Mad, Peanut over there who's playing slide down the steps, say hi, Peanut. Okay, don't say hi, just wave.
We will.
Dr. and Mrs. Madd from the Yellow House, adios.